6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. The Cost of Living Committee pays attention on the main reasons to increase fuel prices. Minister Udaya Gammanpila says that the local fuel prices are determined according to the price fluctuations in the world market. The coastal belt from Negombo to Panadura opened for fisheries activities. In foreign news, China says small groups do not rule the world. In sports, mixed martial arts, Israel Adesanya beats Marvin Vettori to retain middleweight title. The Cost of Living Committee, which met under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, has paid its attention on several main reasons that led to the price increase of fuel. One of them is the continuous increase of the price of a barrel of crude oil in the world market, which has exceeded $70. Sri Lanka spends a huge amount of foreign exchange to import oil. $3,677 million have been spent in 2019 to import oil. Although vehicle imports have been banned, $4,000 million have to be spent to import oil. Minister Udaya Gammanpila says that the local fuel prices are determined according to the fluctuations in the world market. The value of the dollar also has an impact. The price of fuel was increased according to a decision taken by the Cost of Living Subcommittee. During a press briefing today, he said the President, the Prime Minister and some ministers represented the committee. The Petroleum Corporation has incurred a loss of 390 billion rupees. The minister said that he held discussions with local and foreign banks to minimize the loss. Nearly 600 billion rupees of debt of the corporation has had an impact on the banking system. He said that the central bank has pointed out that foreign exchange rates and foreign reserves have a negative impact in not revising fuel prices. He said a decision was taken to increase the fuel price with a minimum impact on the cost of living. The coastal belt from Negombo to Panadura was opened for fisheries activities today. Before giving permission, NARA conducted extensive tests in the area. Minister Douglas Devananda said that following the tests conducted by NARA, it has been confirmed that the fish in the sea area is suitable for consumption. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
The Kagalla Health Services Director Dr. Kumara Wickramasinghe says that all garment factory employees and staff in the Kagalla district will be given the Sinopharm vaccine tomorrow. Accordingly, the Kagalla district will become the first district to immunize all the garment factory workers. The chairman of the Western Province Road Passenger Transport Authority, Prasanna Sanjeeva, says that a loss of more than 1.2 billion rupees have been incurred by the authority during the last 24 days as a result of travel restrictions. He said more than 5,200 buses are operated daily under the authority. Developing 12 remote roads in the Dharaniyagala Divisional Secretariat area is now taking place as a result of the Gama Samaga Pilisandara program. The people in the area told the President when he arrived at the place those roads were in a dilapidated condition for many years. Apart from developing the roads, a housing complex will be built at Malibada. That's local news.
Nobody tells time like this. So why do you still pay with cash when you have People's Pay mobile app from People's Bank? Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
137,000 people have been given the coronavirus vaccines yesterday. The first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine has been given to 59,881 persons. The vaccine stocks needed to give the second dose of the Sinopharm vaccine have been received by the country. Therefore, State Minister Professor Channa Jayasumana has requested the public to get the injection on the due date.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, the Consumer Affairs Authority says that they receive more than 1,000 complaints daily. They said the highest number of complaints is related to online transactions. The authority said the public can make complaints via the hotline 1977. That came to you in Watchlight. And now in World News Headlines, China says small groups do not rule the world. The G7 is to agree to tough measures on burning coal to tackle climate change. Disruption to shipping could delay Christmas orders. China has warned the G7 leaders that the days when a small group of countries decided the fate of the world were long gone. The comments by a spokesman for the Chinese embassy in London come as the leaders who are meeting in England seek a unified position over China. They adopted a spending plan in response to a massive Chinese scheme. Analysts say US President Joe Biden is determined that Western powers need to act now to counter a resurgent China. The world leaders meeting in Cornwall are to adopt strict measures on coal-fired power stations as part of the battle against climate change. The G7 group will promise to move away from coal plants unless they have technology to capture carbon emissions. It comes as Sir David Attenborough warned that humans could be on the verge of destabilizing the entire planet. He said G7 leaders face the most important decisions in human history. Industry experts say disruption in the global container shipping industry shows no sign of being resolved quickly and could lead to shortages in the run-up to Christmas. An outbreak of COVID-19 in Guangdong in southern China has caused acute congestion at the region's ports. As a result, shipments have been delayed, increasing tensions within global supply chains, and the knock-on effects could take many months to resolve. And now the main points of the World News segment once again. China says small groups do not rule the world. The G7 is to agree to tough measures on burning coal to tackle climate change. Disruption to shipping could delay Christmas orders. That was World News, and now in development news, State Minister Anuradha Jayaratne says that work on 1,357 tanks have commenced this year under the Irrigation Prosperity Programme. 3 billion rupees will be spent this year to renovate tanks. 5,000 tanks are to be renovated within 3 years. That was development news, and now in sports news. In mixed martial arts, UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya cruised to victory over Marvin Vettori as he retained his undisputed 185-pound title in the main event of the UFC 263 in Glendale, Arizona. The pair had previously met when Adesanya claimed a split decision victory over Vettori in April 2018 in the Nigerian-born Kiwi's second UFC bout. But in Saturday night's rematch, Adesanya 31 showed his class with virtuoso performance as he picked apart the Italian over the full 5-round championship duration at the Gila River Arena. That was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Marriott International is set to introduce the Courtyard by Marriott brand to Sri Lanka this year. It has signed an agreement with the Colombo City Centre Partners Private Limited, a part of the Abans Group, for the hotel, expected to open in late 2021. Located in the heart of the Colombo city, adjacent to the Bairo Lake, Courtyard by Marriott Colombo will feature 164 modern guest rooms.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka is looking to add $3 to $5 billion as additional export revenue through rubber products, agri and food processing and the export of fisheries, the chairman of the BOI, Sanjay Mohotala, said at the Economic Forum which concluded yesterday. He said top tyre manufacturers have already taken root in Sri Lanka along with tyre exports and vibrant rubber-based products manufacturing close to $1 billion worth of exports at present.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the central and Sabaragamu provinces and fairly heavy falls, about 50 millimeters, can be expected at some places. Several spells of showers will occur in the western and the northwestern provinces and in the Gala and Mathura districts. Wind speeds will be 40 kilometers per hour in the western slopes of the central hills, the northern, the north central and northwestern provinces and in the Hambantota and Trincomalee districts. The wind speed can increase up to 50 kilometers per hour at times in these areas.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The Cost of Living Committee pays attention on the main reasons to increase fuel prices. Minister Udaya Gammanpilla says that the local fuel prices are determined according to the price fluctuations in the world market. The coastal belt from Negombo to Panadura opened for fisheries activities. In foreign news, China says small groups do not rule the world. In sports, mixed martial arts, Israel Adesanya beats Marvin Vettori to retain middleweight title.